You've got 10 grand to buy a micro camper, but is that enough to get you something decent? Today, I'm going to delve into Auto Trader and find out what to look for and what to avoid. Let's get into it. Head to the Auto Trader app, and we're already on the motor caravan section, the motorhome section. We're going to look at different types of micro camper today. So the first one I'm going to look for is the Nissan NV200. It's probably one of my favourite vans in the micro camper sort of space, if you like. So we'll go to Nissan, and we'll go model NV200, and we'll go price, maximum price, 10 grand. Now, there is only two, but let's see what we've got. So here we have a Nissan in grey, looks quite a nice van. We'll have a scroll through the photos and have a look at the interior sort of. It's actually got a full side conversion in it. Not the best photos, but there you go. That looks like a table wedge down there. It's got a fridge, a double hob with sink, loads of storage. It's not got a pop top, which on the micro campers, some people want them, some people don't. You don't always have to have them on something this size. I do like them, but then I'm probably a little bit biased. But that's a nice looking van. For under 10 grand, that's getting you camping. It's even got 3-pin sockets, which means it's probably got a hookup. I doubt it's got an inverter at this size, but it's got all sorts of options there. But I mean, it's a really nice little conversion actually. Grayscale, everything's grey in it, which kind of works. You're never going to upset anybody with that, and you can put your own touches on it. The good thing about buying a used camper is you can personalise it. You can put your own flavour to it. And the nice way of doing that isn't doing it all when you buy it. When you go somewhere on a camping trip, buy some accessories, buy a few little bits of trinkets, put them in the van, make it your own. Because every time you get in the van then, those little trinkets are reminding you of where you've been and what you've done, and sort of brings back those memories, which is always great, because the best thing about a camper van is the memories you get from it. But if we scroll through, I mean, these vans drive really well. The Nissans, they drive well, they're so economical. You see them get 50 to 60 to the gallon, which is fantastic for a camper van. You could always put the roof on this if you wanted to sort of go the whole hog, but for the money, I mean, less than 10 grand, that's a really good van. 110,000 miles for these vans, which is not the end of the world. It is on the higher side for the NV200, but you know, I wouldn't worry too much about that. We'll have a quick look at the description. It's not a particularly long description. Comfortable for cooking and sitting in, small enough to be easy to park. I mean, that pretty much sums up the NV200 as a camper. They are really good. Definitely worth looking at that. It's something that would get you out and about for not a lot of money, and is no bigger than a small car. They're actually quite a small van. Obviously, we're looking at micro campers, but they look bigger than they actually are. The fact they're so high up means you get the elevated driving position, which is a big plus size of like a medium-sized van, but in the footprint of a really small van. So let's have a look and see what other models we can find. So let's have a look at the Citroens. Citroen Berlingo. Now these are the more sort of car style vehicles, if you like, but again, you should be able to get a good camper. This one's got the roof on it, and if we scroll through the photos, ooh, that's a funky interior. I'm not too sure about that, but each their own. I assume that could even be standard. Let's have a look at what sort of conversion this has got in it. So it's got the 2-burner sink and hob. Kind of a unique looking conversion. So it's definitely a 1-person camper this. This isn't for 2 people. It's got a single bed that your passenger seat folds into. Actually, a really, really long bed that would be about 7 foot long, I think, which for something in this size is quite incredible. It's a different style. It's got a rear pod you can see there. So that's obviously where everything is, your gubbins for your gas, your water, all be in that pod. And then a big long bed here. And you know what? You do see a lot of solo travellers in this size of van, because I mean, you look at that is basically a car. They're so easy to drive, and they feel like a car to drive as well. It's a lot of van for the money, that. But you know what? It's even got a place where your dog can sleep. But that's a really nice size of van. Really good little conversion that would get you out for not a lot of money. 10 grand. It's still a big chunk of money, but in terms of getting a camper van, that's not a lot. Let's have a look at the description, see what it says. So it's a well-spec'd van, this. It's even got parking sensors. like it says, it's got gas hob, sinks, hook up. It's something this size. That's actually quite a luxury. A nice van, that. It's certainly something that you'd take a look at if you were in the market for something this size. And it's a nice shape of Berlingo, that. A well-used and sort of trusted van, the Berlingo. As the owner of Drive Lodge, I'd be daft not to mention it here. We're a family-run business specialising in safe, reliable and ergonomic roofs. For more information, click the link in the description. Let's see if we can get anything in the Ford realm. See what we can get. So that's what I was thinking, the Transit Connect. Now, that is a bit of an older van we've got here. So this is a 2003 van. It's only done 50,000 miles actually. Now it's described as a great little day van. So we'll have a look and see what conversion is inside. Actually looks quite nice. You can see there, so it's got a side bench, I assume, that folds into a bed. You fold your driver's seat down, that creates a bed area. You can even use that as a backrest, quite nice. But then in the back there, we've got a full fridge and everything. It's got a 2-burner hob and sink with the rail on. That rail there is what your table connects to. And in the back, if we look here, so that's obviously where the hob and the sink is. This side you've got a full fridge and loads of storage. It's quite a nice little conversion, that. I really like that. Quite a usable van. I don't think the bed's going to be the biggest, if I'm honest. Looking at sort of, and knowing the size of the van, looking at how it's done, it's probably suited to one person rather than two. You might get 2 people in there if you really don't mind being cosy. Windows wise, it's got the cassette window, which will have the blinds built in. I'm not the biggest fan of those, but they do work well and they're well insulated. But as again, for the money, that one was only £8,000 or £7,995. Really nice van for the money. Yeah, see what it has to say about it. Click on the description. Oh, it's all sorts in there. We won't go through all of it, but essentially, yeah, a bench sofa that converts into a single or small double, as we were saying. 4 roof lights. Oh, it's got a 230, so it's got hookup as well, so you can hook up if you're on a campsite or on someone's drive. You can plug in, and you've got full 3-pin electrics, which is, again, on something this size, really good. It's a low mileage van, that. Be a nice van for someone, that. Really good van. So let's have a look and see what we can get from Fiat. I know that Fiat do some really nice smaller vans. So we'll click on make. We've still got the £10,000 maximum budget on there. Fiat. And then let's have a look. The Scudo. Scudo's a nice van. It's similar to NV200 size again, so it's sort of on the bigger size of micro camper, but it is definitely still a smaller camper van. Well, it's the high roof version as well. I don't think you can fully stand up in these. I mean, if you're short, I'm sure you can. I'm 6'4", so I definitely can't stand up in this. But this is a nice little conversion, actually. It does look like it's been added to over the years. I mean, you look here, I would say that window there definitely isn't from that van. I think someone's taken that from a different van and added it at a later date. It doesn't quite fit. For the money, it's probably the sort of thing you're going to expect. And it'll work. It'll be practical. Again, you see a side bench seat with, I assume that's like a hot plate cooker thing. That's quite an old style hob, that. Not really what I'd expect in a van, but again, it'll get you how it'll work. What looks like just a water boil. I assume it's got the drain that runs to the outside. I'll be honest, this does look like a well-used camper van. It's obviously got signs of wear. You can see on the door here where things have been sort of wedged in, and then if you look at this cupboard, you can see corners have been chipped off. So probably not in the best nick, but then for the size of van and the money we're paying, that's kind of what you're going to expect. And if you don't mind that, you can pick up a bargain. It's even got, I think that has a microwave, certainly a grill, whether it's a microwave as well. I'm going to guess a home conversion, this, or at least it's been added to over the years by someone that's probably not a professional. So I would get someone to come and sort of check out the internals, make sure it's all done right and that there's nothing that's jumping out. But you can see there's plenty of photos here showing any marks on it. So there's a few little bits of marks, but nothing that I would particularly worry about. But yeah, it's slightly bigger than the Berlingos we were looking at, but still a micro camper. Again, on the bigger side, but it's a nice little conversion. That's got everything in there that you would need, and it would get you away camping very happily. Have a look at the description. Like I said, £9,000. That's a full description. I won't go through it all, but yeah, TV, electric stove, fridge, sink, storage, skylights. It's kind of got everything you need. These vans, I would get them checked over mechanically as well as the inside. If they're not looked after, they can have issues. If they're looked after, they're great vans, they really are. I've seen loads of these over the years, and with really big miles on. This one has done 173,000, which is probably on the high end of where I'd be looking. So it certainly would want checking out properly. If you can get some sort of warranty or something like that, I'd recommend it. It might come in handy there. But, do you know, that's a lot of van for the money. But there you go, that shows you what you can get for a 10 grand budget in the micro camper sector. There's all sorts of options. I mean, we've not covered all of them by any stretch. There's so many options, and you could spend hours flicking through Auto Trader, finding out what you can get. It's not the only place to look. You can look at Facebook Marketplace, eBay. There's a variety of places you can get vans from, and you can pick some real bargains up, especially if you're not in a super rush. If you've liked this video, YouTube thinks you'll love this video here.